Hi guys, so I've got the house to myself for a few hours, so even though I'm having a very greasy hair bun up kind of day, I thought I'd quickly film a video. And today I thought I'd do a tag video because it's been a little while since I've done one of them, and one popped up on my feed the other day from my friend Jenim, and it was, I think it's called My Perfect Imperfections. Like a lot of people that have done this tag, we have slight issues with the name of the tag, but it's very hard to think of something that's concise and succinct that says what you're trying to say, because for me, imperfections, if you apply it to, human beauty, is not something I really buy into, because one, it's so subjective. One person's idea of beauty is different to another's, and who's to say, what beauty and perfection is and what is imperfect, therefore. So I don't really like the name of it, but what I think is good about these videos is, obviously, if big YouTubers who people put on a pedestal, who people idolise, who think have it all, talk about the things that maybe affect their self-esteem or confidence, it will make people realise that it's normal and that everyone's a real woman, and that everyone has things that maybe they don't like as much as other parts of them, and that's okay. And it doesn't mean we need to do anything about them, or it might mean we should or could. But anyway, it's very individual, and I've already rambled on too long as always. What I'm saying is, just because in this video I named something as one of my imperfections, it doesn't mean that I think that it is something that I would class as an imperfect thing on everyone. And I actually hope that one day we won't class anything in terms of physical beauty and outwardly beauty as imperfect. Every part of you makes you your unique totality. So who's to say whether it's a good or bad thing, imperfect or perfect, or either or none of... I can't believe I've just got off. I'm going to just get cracking. So first up, I'm just going to talk about some things that I would class as things that hinder my confidence or have affected my self-esteem over the years. So the first one that comes to mind is definitely my skin. Although it's never been the worst case of acne, like say at school I didn't have the worst skin, but it was always there. I always had acne, I always suffered from spots, and it has been there throughout my teenage years and then my adulthood as well, in different forms. And I think in terms of my reaction to it, it's probably the thing that has affected my confidence the most in terms of my physical appearance. For instance, when I've had a new boyfriend, the thought of them seeing me without makeup for the first time has always been incredibly scary and daunting. When there's been sleepovers, I have definitely worried about the fact that my friends would see me with bare skin in the morning, and then I've had to make that decision. Shall I fall asleep with my makeup on and then quickly touch it up in the morning, which will probably mean my skin will be worse because I've left it on overnight? Or shall I take it off, make sure the lights are off, and then get up before they're all awake and reapply it? All these sorts of stupid decisions. I think even when my skin's in a good place and I don't have any active spots, unfortunately, because I have squeezed over the years, and probably genetically as well, I was destined to have large pores, that I've always got kind of holes in my skin. So I never have that Photoshop finish or smoothness that you see in magazines, that Facetune, just kind of perfectly smooth canvas. There will always be bumps, there will always be pitting, and there's not much I can do about that. I've obviously tried things to try and reduce it, but it's still there. And I can deal with that, but when I have a breakout again, I just get all the same feelings that I used to get when I had bad skin at school and when I was younger. And it's very hard to get rid of those feelings of insecurity, and that everyone can see it and everyone's looking at it and everyone thinks it looks bad. And the most part, it's always worse in your head than it actually is in reality. So I guess that's the first one, the main one. I've been a bit self-conscious over the years about my bones. That might sound weird, but I was quite bony because I was very slim as a child, and I think like for instance, my pelvis is slanted in a way that sometimes my pelvic bones stick out more than I'd like and give bumps where I wouldn't like there to be bumps. And I don't, some people have said, oh, your hip bones are a little bit uncomfortable, like when they're hugging me or something like that. And yeah, I'm just sometimes I look at pictures and I just think I look a bit gangly and awkward and bony because of like my weird elbows and stuff. I don't know if you can see that. They're just a bit, oh, you can't really see. But yeah, just a little bit gangly and bony, I guess. But yeah, there's particular bumps, bony bumps that I just wish I didn't have. And I think in a bikini that really affects my confidence a little bit. My bony pelvis, my bony bones. Yeah. I think the next thing is the fact due to the fact that I haven't really been able to do exercise for God so many years now, I lack a serious amount of tone. And like muscle, everything. People might be like, oh, you're a size 8, 10, you're slim, what have you got to worry about? But what I do have is very unlooked after, shall we say. So my thighs, there's no tone there, it's very squidgy. I've got a lot of cellulite. It's sort of like I just have to press very lightly on it and you see the ripples. And I've got that on my calves and my thighs and my bum. And my bum is probably one of the things I feel quite sad about, because someone the other day said to me, actually, they said they can tell that I don't do squats. And they're bloody right, I don't do squats. I tried to do one the other day, and after one, that was quite enough for me, actually. I've got a very sad and depressed looking bottom. It's like flat and long, like hanging, a bit like a basset hound. My bum is like a basset hound, which is not something many people look for in a partner. Not that that's what this is about. I don't like the look of my arse, but I have the power to change that, really, and I don't feel like I should or can put the energy and the squattage into making it better. Just a bonus imperfection for you. So I've got, a lot of hair. Well, apparently the hairdressers say each strand is actually very thin, but I've got a lot of strands, so that's why my hair looks like it's quite thick, even though each strand is actually quite thin. But because I'm a natural blonde, I've noticed this is a thing with blondes. A lot of us have like these baby hairs or very thin hair around here, and sometimes if I pull my hair really tight or I'm not careful about how I style it, I kind of look like I have a receding hairline, so I have to be really careful. And sometimes when I watch a video back or I see a picture and I see that showing, I feel a bit embarrassed. And people have mentioned it to me before and even joked about having a receding hairline. But obviously, on the most part, I can cover that up, and I'm very grateful I got the hair I have. But that is something that people have pointed out, and so I have become aware of it. And it means that some looks that are trendy, I can't do. So, for instance, if it's the slick back look, I don't do that, for instance, because it will expose the less hairy bits. Okay, let's move on to the bits I like, I guess. If you're a friend of mine, you will know that I find this incredibly hard, and I want to be better at it, because I actually think it's good for role models to be confident about themselves and to actually be proud of things, and to talk about the parts of their bodies that makes them feel sexy and makes them feel good and confident. Although at the same time, I don't want the emphasis to be put on appearance and physical attributes, because you haven't earned them. Some of us are just born with them, or you've been born with them. Why should you get applause because you've been born with a model figure or something? It seems weird to me. But anyway, God, I just can't, because I haven't talked to you in a while. I'm just rambling like a crazy woman. I am a crazy woman. Yes. So, what was I saying? Okay. Things I like. Things I like. Oh, so whenever I've had my lashes dyed or anything done with my lashes, they always say how long my lashes are. I guess I am quite lucky that I have naturally long lashes. Unfortunately, they're those ones that are very straight, so unless I curl them, you can't really tell that they're long lashes, but they are quite naturally long, which I'm very grateful for, because a lot of natural blondes have very fair, very thin lashes, so I'm grateful for that. I've always had the ability to grow my hair quite long, and I know a lot of people, you know, have to resort to having extensions and things like that, so I'm very lucky that my hair does seem to want to always grow long, and that's good. And I guess, again, I'm lucky that it's relatively thick hair. Yeah, can you tell I'm struggling to think of things? I guess I'm quite lucky that, you know, I can eat like an absolute pig, stuff my face, and I don't put on weight. I know Si gets really cross with me because I'll be snacking and eating all sorts of awful stuff, like the same as him, and he'll put on weight quickly and then I won't put on anything. So I guess I'm lucky with that, although as I get older I can see that metabolism is slowing down a bit. So I guess, is this what this tag wants? That's not, is that I don't know if that's fits in with what this tag is about. Oh, I thought of another imperfection though while we're at it. The bottom half of my legs are too short. From the knee to the foot, it is very short. So you often notice if I crop my Instagram pictures, I'll crop it like above the knee, because my length of my thigh is like normal, if not quite a long leg. And so if you let the imagination then continue the image, people would think I'd have really long legs, when in actual fact they're quite dumpy. So yeah, the lower half of my leg very short, and that's from my mum. My mum gave me that. Cheers. I guess I have slender arms, if that's a positive thing. It's hard, because in saying that you think that's a positive thing, I don't want someone that doesn't have slender arms to think that that means they're not a good thing, because I would look at their arms and probably think, oh, they've got lovely arms. It's a very personal, very weird thing, imperfections and perfections, because maybe some of the things I'm pointing out as things I like might be things that you think, ooh, I don't like that about her, and vice versa. I need to think of one more positive so I can leave this video on a body confident me kind of note. What do I like? Do you know what's interesting? I hate my boobs. Like, I hate my boobs. Like, they used to be quite good, but because they've grown and shrunk over the years, according to being on the pill, coming off the pill, putting on weight, losing weight, all sorts of different things. They've been through the wars, basically. So they've been stretched, the skin's lost its elasticity, they've become less pert, less full, less rounded. So I absolutely hate them. But what I found is that no one else notices those changes, and like, it's something that the fellas, even though they look a bit like spaniel's ears now, they still like them. They don't care. They literally don't care. And although it shouldn't matter what they think at all, I think some of us admit that public opinion and opinion of, you know, your romantic partners does sometimes affect how you feel. And I think knowing that, you know, most people don't give a rat's ass about what my boobs look like does help a bit, and makes me hate them a little bit less. I think we've got to remember that, like vaginas, like boobs, like everything, they come in all sorts of different shapes and forms, and there's not one right or one type of normal. Like, you can have brown nipples, pink nipples, beige nipples, barely there nipples, black nipples, I can't say nipples, big ones, small ones, protruding ones, bumpy ones, you know, all sorts, saggy, together, outward, all sorts, and it's all fine. And it's all normal, and we just should maybe embrace them a bit more. I'm going to stop rambling now. I've gone on so you're going to think that I've finally completely lost the plot with this video, but anyway, it's been nice talking to you, even though you're not actually there when I'm filming this. I pretend you guys are. Why don't you tell me below what your things you like, things you don't like about yourself, and let's chat openly about our body and our self-esteem and our confidence and that sort of stuff. Yeah, let's share, because that's what we do best on this channel. Okay, nice catching up with you, even if it was a bit rambly, and I'll see you soon.